Huh? Oh wait, what? We're starting? Where the heck was the intro? I can't do this without my intro. I mean... Hey, where the heck is that intro, guys? I mean, I need the... What do you mean it's not there? It's gotta be there. I always open with that. Look, just throw it in there if you have to, okay? Let's start from the top and try that again, alright? Oh, that's so much better. Welcome back to Metroid Zero Mission, where last time we beat the game, and then the game kept going. Yeah, we got shot down by space pirates and unfortunately lost our power suit. Also, keep that block in mind for later. It might be slightly important. And unfortunately, we're stuck as Zero Suit Samus for the time being, which might not seem like much of an upgrade over being Michael from accounting, but thankfully, she can still jump far better than Michael could ever hope to. And now we're on to some really dangerous territory. The space pirate mothership is no joke. This is probably one of the most likely places to die in this game, considering just how threatening everything is to you without the power suit. But thankfully we're not going in completely blind. We do get a map for this place, and it's pretty big. This is probably one of the biggest areas in the entire game, all things considered, just in terms of map squares. And from this point on, all the save points also double as healing stations, which is a welcome change, especially given how vulnerable we are right now. Now, let's just sneak right by this guy. Oh, damn it. So, if you get seen by a space pirate, the alarm goes off and everything kind of goes to hell. Gates will close, you'll be pursued through rooms, and you have to find a place to hide so that the alarm goes off and they leave you alone. There are certain points that it's incredibly difficult not to get caught in, like this coming up right here. The first time after that save room you saw there, it is possible, but basically frame perfect not to get caught by them. It gets easier to avoid being seen later on, just because the execution needed is a lot less tight. But starting out, they really want to hammer in the idea that, hey, you're being pursued and chased, you need to get the fuck out of here. And that's a nasty little trick if you're not quick to react, especially if you have the gates closed down, so you end up falling down there. And as you can see right here, another breakable wall. There's a lot of little things in the level design and the geometry for this place to adapt each room to both when you're being pursued and when it's all calm. Now there's a save room right here that is completely inaccessible on hard mode. That door will never unlock, but there is a shortcut up here that is, well, always available, so that's nice. There's one more save point later on that pulls a similar thing, and I'll point it out when we get there, but just know that on hard mode, you have to go through a lot more all at once before you get a chance to checkpoint your progress. Just something to keep in mind. Now, there's one major complaint I have to bring up with this entire stealth section, and it's the music. The music that's playing right now is just really completely uninteresting and frankly boring. The stuff that was playing before we got caught the first time is pretty good. It's tense, it feels very stealthy, it feels very atmospheric, and this is just very boring and bland and by comparison, and I'm not a big fan of it. This section in general, I think I'm more of a fan of it than most people are. I know a lot of people are not a big fan of this stealth section or even what comes after it, but personally, I'm fairly indifferent towards the stealth because it's not going to take super long. We'll be done with it by the end of this video, I can tell you that much. And the stuff that comes after it is pretty fun and interesting in my opinion, even if you're not doing 100%, but we'll get to that when we get to that. It's getting a little ahead of myself there. Also, glass tube. Keep that in mind for later too. And now we've transitioned from the space pirate mothership into the Chozo ruins. This is sort of the second half of Chozodia. Chozodia as a whole is sort of comprised of both the Chozo ruins and Space Pirate Mothership all together on one map, interconnected. So when you put all that together, this is actually the biggest area in the entire game. Now there's a really cool way you can kind of skip this room, yeah, kind of just by shimmying up the wall there, just barely avoiding that searchlight. It's pretty tricky to do, but the alternative is to go through that room normally, and honestly, who even wants to do that normally? There's a lot of room for you to kind of do a few subversions of the normal, like, quote-unquote intended route through this stealth section, and there's also the ability for you to just get yourself caught like a dumbass and have to run away, but you know, I generally like to ignore that fact, but yeah. This room would normally be a lot calmer and a little more interesting to get through without getting caught. As you can see, there's that little section in the wall down there. Normally what you do is you just hang from that, and if you diagonal shoot, then you can hit that one space pirate that was up there that I saw earlier. Or you can just kind of hang out and avoid them entirely because they're too stupid to follow you. Go figure. Not sure what their thought process is with that, but considering the Space Pirates lore in the Prime series, they probably don't have much of a thought process to begin with. Now over here is where the second save room is that does not exist in hard mode. That wall would normally be fake, but in hard mode, it's very, very real. And it looks like this jerk is getting away with our prizes. That's just rude, honestly. I mean, I like the tease that they give you there, showing you that there's just an item sitting there in a paint me like one of your French Chozo statues pose. But then they just kind of have some asshole come by and take it from you, and it really sucks. And then you feel sad inside. Anyways, at this point, we're very nearly done with the stealth, so I figure it's fine if I just kind of get caught a little bit and just make a break for it at this point. As long as you know the layout of these rooms, and by that I mean you've probably failed once or twice and gotten a sneak peek at what places look like, you'll probably have an idea of what's safe and what's not. Also, little trick there, if you quick turn around and stun them, that'll help out your stealth timer here, since as you can see, it actually disabled for a second there until I got spotted again. But if I'd wanted to, I could have hung out there for a second and waited for them to turn around, and I would have been all fine and dandy. This room kind of sucks if you're getting pursued though, because they are completely on your ass at this point, and not a whole lot is stopping them until you get here and just take the floor out from underneath them. That kind of stops them pretty hard. But that's it. We're done with the stealth section, believe it or not. We don't have to worry about the space pirates anymore. Well, we don't have to worry about them catching us anymore. We're not quite done yet, though. Because, well, we still don't have our suit, and we're stuck here in these old, smelly-ass ruins with no real way out of here. So what are we gonna do about that, huh? What are we gonna do? A fight to the death with the ghosts of our adoptive parents' god thing. Yeah, I don't really get it either. This is the Ruins Test? That's apparently the canonical name of this boss, but I much prefer the speedrunning community's name for this boss of Charlie. It's a much better name in my book. Anyways, the big gimmick of this fight is that you can only shoot it, well, damage it rather, when it's got that glowing rune showing on it. If you shoot it any other time, Samus takes damage instead because Honestly, I don't know why, but she does. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you stand still for too long, this thing will just shoot lightning at you, like it does there. Although, once it hits the 4th hit, it'll just shoot lightning regardless. So you want to keep being on the move, and as you just get further and further, it becomes a lot tighter of a window to shoot at it. But we've passed the test, which means... It's time to kick some pirate ass. We've got the fully powered suit, we've got a plethora of new upgrades that'll just let us smash through these guys. It's awesome. This is one of the best moments in the game where you're just feeling so empowered, so pumped up to get your revenge and get the hell out of this place. But our revenge is going to have to wait a little while, because next time, it's time to start the cleanup. See you guys then.